Hey everybody, welcome back. I felt like I really needed to explain this next video. I never thought that I would be um, doing like a review video because that just was never my thing. And I mean, so this is technically, it's my first review. I have to say up front, I am not getting paid for this. I'm not getting any compensation whatsoever. This is just a spur of the moment. This is what I'm doing. I want to see if it works. It's no money's changing hands. I'm not getting credited for this. I just felt I needed to do it, and I thought I would explain it up front. And what happened is when I first set out to do this van life thing, I bought a top-of-the-line 2400 power station with a solar panel, and it just almost $2,000 is what I spent on it. And I was so excited because this is top of the line. This is a really nice power station. However, after about a week and a half, it malfunctioned, and I was getting little warning icons that there was a problem. The only thing I had plugged into it is my solar panels and a laptop, so it really shouldn't have done what it did. I think if I had to guess, and this is just a guess, I don't know if it's an educated guess or not, but it's just a guess. I think it's short-circuited. I'm not sure why. It shouldn't have, because I certainly wasn't overloading it. So anyway, I almost immediately contacted the company. I bought it through Amazon, so I ended up having to contact the company. And I gave it a couple of days because I was thinking, well, maybe it would correct itself. You know, given time with it turned off, it might correct itself. It never did. And I tried that 2 or 3 times. So I contacted the company, and very kindly they agreed to take it back, and they agreed to refund my money. They sent me, they emailed me my shipping documents so that I could ship it back without having to pay shipping. I did have to spend $70 in boxes for the solar panels and the actual power station, but you know, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And then within a very reasonable time, the money was rebated back to my account, so that I really have no qualms with the company. I just was very hesitant about going and ordering a new one from them. And I thought about it, and I researched power stations a little bit. And on the recommendation of one of the gentlemen that I follow on YouTube, I went with I decided I was going to buy an Oupes. And so this was once I got it, this is my test of what it would handle. Some of the more common things that I handle, and I understand this one is only a 2,000 watt, so it's a little less than the one that I ordered originally. And so I was testing different things, and I'm becoming aware of wattage and that kind of thing, which is not something I knew anything about. So what follows are my tests of my different products that I use to see if it would hold. And so this is my tests, and that's the reason I did this, because I wanted to make sure in my mind that I wasn't doing something wrong. and then I could go back, and if something did go wrong, I could go back and show them, this is what I did, and this is how I did it, and this is how I tested it. So I am going to include the next few bits in this video are going to be the tests that I did with this Oupes. It's a 2000 watt Oupes. And again, I am not being paid for this, and I am not recommending this to anybody. I mean, this is just to show my tests and what I did. Hopefully this will hold, and if it does, I would be in the market for a second one for my kitchen area, because I had always planned on having one for my office, having a power station that I could put in my office, and then one to handle the kitchen area, and we'll figure out whether or not we're going to hook it to solar panels on the roof or whatever, but that'll be for later. That one would, if this one holds, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this one holds, that's my plan. So here goes. So this is my Oupes Mega 1, and she has been plugged in all night, as you can see. Let's turn her on. She's still plugged in. She's at 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out different appliances. Actually have done this over several days, so I kind of have an idea, but I'm a little snake bit because of my experience with my Blue Eddy. So we are going to go through with this and start testing out some appliances. She's a 2000 watt, so she should hold most of what I have in here, and let's see how she does. So I have the Oupes turned on, and she is recording that she's at 100%. I'm going to go ahead and push the AC button, and she shouldn't be showing any draw, which is current. She is not showing any draw. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to plug in the laptop, and I've had the laptop plugged into her for almost a week. I've had this power station for almost a week. Not a problem. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we don't have a problem today. So now I have the laptop plugged in, and my hotspot is plugged into the laptop, and the power station is registering between 8 and 7 hours left. It's at 99%, and the numbers on the right are running between 70 and 74. So no problem holding the laptop. Good going so far. This is with the power station plugged in and the laptop plugged in. So let's see what happens when we unplug the power station to shore power. This is a biggie test. I've got my little ceramic heater here plugged in. It is not turned on yet. I have the power station charged back up. It's back at 100. It's back at 99%. And we're going to try and see what happens. I have the ceramic heater set at 55%, and what the wattage on the back says at 55%, it should pull 450 to 700 watts. And I have had this on before, so we're going to see if this 2000 watt Mega 1 will hold it And so here goes. And she's cooking. And those are the numbers. It's not going to heat for a long time, but I also don't have any power coming in. So if I've got solar panels on the roof or solar panels out front, it might make a difference. We'll have to see on that one. It says 36 minutes, 35 minutes at 97%, and that's how much this little ceramic heater will pull. So we'll see. Now, if we switch it to fan, we're going to turn it off. And you can see that we are back at it's not pulling anything. Now I'm going to try and switch it to fan. Although this heater doesn't fan well. We've had this heater for a very long time. So I am going to switch it to fan and see what the fan pulls. And the fan pulls almost nothing. So it is largely the heat that is pulling power out of the power station. And it is not much of a... If I turn it up, to all the way, it almost puts out no fan. It's just the fan on the heater. It does pull out a little bit in the back. So just for grins and giggles, let's see what this little heater will pull and what the power station will handle if the power station is plugged into shore power. This is not something I've tried, so keep your fingers crossed and let's see what the numbers go. And I am going to turn her on to heat. She's still at 55. And those are the numbers. What's coming in and what's going out. And she is holding fairly steady. Not too bad. That's all I have plugged in, though. Just the heater. So let's try the next appliance. Okay, so the next thing I want to try is I want to see what this glue gun is gonna pull, because I love my glue gun. And again, the power station was set at 100%, and the AC is turned on, and the glue gun is plugged in. And it's going to take a little while for it to heat up. All glue guns do. And so let's see what this is going to pull. I use my glue gun a lot. I have a lot of things I've done with it. and I continue to use it. So let's see what this is pulling. The power station is not plugged in at the moment. I do have the cord by the side, and so we're going to see what this is going to pull. And right now those are the numbers on the glue gun. Now the numbers have stopped running, which tells me that she may be a little too powerful for this particular power station. So I may have to either use a bigger power station, or I will only be able to use her when I'm plugged in. Okay, so now we're going to try a test that I have not tried, and I've been very leery about trying. I think a large part because of the snake bit with the Blue Eddy that, malfunctioned within a week and a half after I got it. What I have now that we're going to try is I'm going to try a microwave. And mind you, again, repeating, this is a 2,000 watt power station. The microwave is 900 watts. So I'm hoping that this will hold even for a couple of minutes anyway. And we're going to see. I do have it plugged into an extension cord because because of where I have everything located. So everything's plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little frozen dinner in here, and because it's thawed, it only needs to be about 2 minutes. So there we go. We're gonna give this a try and see if it'll hold. It is cooking. And so far so good. The power station is holding it. So this is a plus. I'm pretty happy with this. This is something that I've been afraid to try, and now we've seen that it will work. It does say 34 minutes on here as it's ticking down, but everybody knows with microwaves you're not cooking for more than just a few minutes. Maybe, I think the longest I've ever cooked anything in a microwave is like 8 minutes. So as she ticks down, we're going to go back up here and check out the microwave. She's spinning and she's cooking, and she has about 49 seconds, 46 seconds as she's ticking down from the 2 minutes that I set it at. So if everything holds for 2 minutes, I'm happy with this. And we will see. And then I'll check and see what the numbers are on the power station. Three, two, one. We are at 0. Now let's try and see our numbers. Brought it down to 93% with 17 minutes. I am actually impressed. So the last big power test I want to put this to is to my toaster oven, and it's a product I just bought, the toaster oven, and I have no idea what the wattage is on it. I couldn't find it anywhere on the box. I haven't really looked at the instructions. So we're going to test it and see how it will do. And again, I have it hooked up to an extension cord because my kitchen is on the other end of the van, and the power station is on one end and the oven is on the other. So let's see what this does. Again, it's at 99%. It says 18 hours, although I don't think that's, not what it means. Let's go. And it's just a simple Black & Decker toaster oven. And we are going to try turning it on to bake. Where is it? There's bake. And it seems to be holding. So far, so good. Let's check out the power station. It says 34 minutes. It's drawing about 1464, 63. And it's down to 34 minutes, 97%. So it seems to be holding. I can feel the heat. It's set at 20 minutes and it's set at bake. So it looks like this is a success as well. So I would say this is good. That little power station can operates pretty well. So the next test I'm going to put this Oupes through is plugging it into the cigarette lighter. I was always afraid to do that with the Blue Eddy because I had heard something about them. When you plug in, they can sometimes blow the fuse in your vehicle. So I'm hoping that this is only a 2,000 watts. So I'm hoping that it's not going to do something stupid. But, I mean, if we're going to go, we're in for a penny, in for a pound. We're going to try this. Keep your fingers crossed. It's a little hard to see, but it looks like she is still charging. She's gone up to now 94%. And so far nothing has exploded and I'm not getting any warning signs. So I think we're going to keep our fingers crossed that this held. We're going to pull it out and just kind of give it a break because the next tests are going to be mostly with solar. I've got a couple more tests I want to do with the solar panels. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that everything goes well. So now that we have tested what various items draw from the power station, and we know that it works when plugged into a wall, and I've even tested it to see what happens when you plug it into your vehicle. We are now going to test out the solar panels because, let's face it, we have not had sun for a week, at least since I bought this thing. So let's go ahead and hook up the solar panels. I've got them outside already. I'll take you out and show them to you. So let's see what this starts doing and if it works. Pardon me for a minute while I hook this up. So now I have the solar panels hooked up, and it looks like they are doing their thing. It looks like it's gaining energy. It's 30, 31, 35, 37. So it's getting a consistent amount of energy from the sun so far. We are still on the farm, and once the sun gets beyond this tree, we should get some pretty good solar. So let's give it a little time and we'll see what happens. So it's been about 45 minutes since I set up my solar panels and hooked up the power station, and right now it's reading 100%. And so I think we're gonna call it good for tonight. There's one more thing I want to try, and I'll have to wait and do that in the morning because we are losing sunlight here fairly fast, and I won't have time to be able to set it up, to be able to use some of the energy and then set up what I want to do. So we will see you tomorrow with probably my final test for this this power station, and we're going to see how it goes. So far, so good. The final thing that I was really curious about was if you set your solar panels up along the windshield inside your vehicle, would they collect solar energy? And so this morning I set the solar panels in the front seat. It is still very early in the morning and the sun is not really that strong, and it also hasn't burned through the haze yet, so it's still kind of iffy. But I wanted to see if it would still collect. And if you come down here and you look at the numbers, it is still collecting. It's very, very slow and sporadic, but it still collects solar energy. Very interesting. I was just really curious if you could set the panels in the windshield and to see if they would collect. So I guess that does it. Hopefully I won't wake up tomorrow morning with a bunch of flashing alert icons, which is what happened with the Bluetti. Is after just mild use, just using my laptop and hooking up to a solar panel, it malfunctioned. So I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this will keep going, and if it does, I'll get a second one for the kitchen area. So signing off. I think this has been put to the test. So there you have it. That's my tests and my results for this power station. And hopefully everything will hold. Hopefully tomorrow morning I won't wake up and there'll be flashing red lights, telling me that there's something wrong with the power station. And hopefully it gives me years of service. And I'm just, like I said, just holding my breath, because without power on the road, you really are lost, and you really are at the mercy of what, you're really at the mercy of the generosity of other people, or having to pay to stay someplace. So I'm just glad that this is working so far. And so if you like the video, stop, make a comment, say hello. I'd love to talk to you. If you have experiences or you've had horror stories about similar products, I'd love to hear it. We can commiserate together. So thank you for watching. I appreciate everybody stopping in and spending their time with me. And until next time, we'll see you later.